Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be tackling a new subject that I've never tried before, this shiny little fish, and I'm going to be drawing it in colored pencils, so let's get started. For this drawing I decided to use a Fabriano hot press watercolor paper, and I begin by picking off the graphite on the drawing. I then begin by laying down this green gold color, and I chose this color over the yellow ochre. Even though the two look very similar in this video, I chose this over the yellow ochre because this has more vibrancy and a more goldenish tone than the yellow ochre. So if you look at the reference photo, the color and the texture and the pattern can seem a little complicated for this subject, but the trick is to sort of not worry about the end result and instead focus on specific areas of the subject and just put down the color where you see it. So about my drawing process, one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that even though I begin with a very clear sketch in the beginning, I often tend to change things around once I begin drawing. So for example here, the eye I had drawn initially was much smaller, but once I started putting in the colors, I realized that the proportions didn't match, and I increased the size of the eye. So these are small corrections that one inevitably tends to make, and I especially do that, and every artist's process is different. So mine really involves a lot of these nips and touches, nips and tucks and touches as I go along. So one of the reasons I also really enjoyed this drawing was because I was able to use a lot of different pencil brands and ranges in this drawing. So for example here I'm using a Derwent drawing pencil, and this is a lovely light misty blue color, and I've also used a lot of Derwent light fast colors. While the Derwent range is wax based and the Faber-Castell Polychromos is oil based, both of the pencils work beautifully together. So for a drawing, if you don't find colors in a certain range, I would encourage you to look for other and look at other pencil brands and really just form your core pencil set by mixing all of these different colors from different brands. So another example of how decisions are made on the fly is that initially when I had picked my color palette, I had not planned on including the black. But once I put down the colors, I realized that I needed to increase the contrast between the lightest color, which for example is the light blue and the green gold, and the darkest color I was using. Now the Payne's gray or the dark sepia that I initially planned on using didn't seem dark enough, so that is why I had to bring in the black. So when I began with colored pencils around 3 years back, I wasn't comfortable using solvent, and I actually felt like that was a bit of cheating, and I really just wanted to use colored pencils without any solvent. But lately I've realized that solvent has a lot of value for for tackling some subjects. But in this case, initially I had planned to use solvent, but I later changed that because I realized that the texture that I was getting with using just the pencils on this hot press watercolor paper was actually really playing well for this subject. And so I just decided to leave it like that. I didn't use any burnisher or blender pencil. I just sort of layered all the colors and decided to leave it at that. And I think once you see the end result, I hope you'll agree with me that the texture really played well into this subject. So to draw the fins of this fish, I decided to use a turquoise blue shade. And even though the color by itself would feel out of place in this drawing, when put down in a light layer beneath all the other colors that I'm going to add after this, I felt that the turquoise blue gave a lovely shine to the fins, and exactly what I needed. So even though you can't mix colors in colored pencils like you can do in watercolors, there's a lot of lovely effects that you can get by the right layering of colors with pencils, and I think that just comes with practice. I recently also bought some colors in the Derwent Lightfast range, and I realized some of their colors are really beautiful, and I don't have those colors in the polychromos which I use most often. And one of them is a mist color, which is a very light blue shade, and the one that I have used to draw the light gray fins and which I'm using right now. So even though it looks gray in the video, it has a light blue tinge to it, and I think the gray colors of the polychromos can really sometimes dull down a drawing, and this on the other hand had a lovely blue shade, and it was really nice to use for the fins here. So these fins are going to be the darkest part of this drawing, and I'm using a dark indigo polychromos, and I'm putting a little more pressure to get that even dark tone of color so that it gives a nice dark deep contrast to the white of the lower body of the fish. So the fins in this area turned out to be really tricky, especially because the drawing is not very large scale. It's done on a 6x6 piece of watercolor paper. So what I decided to do was just focus on things as I'm seeing it, and instead not worry about the details and really getting everything right. I wanted to get the impression of fins correct, the form of the fish correct, and not focus too much on the details. But having said that, the details are also important to realistically render any subject. So the trick here is to sort of maybe take a couple of minutes before you begin a drawing and just decide and take stock of the details that you do want to include and the details which you can pass up on. So for example, the little markings with the dark pencil and the lines that I'm drawing right now, these I thought were important details to give form and like just the appropriate amount of detail to this drawing. But I really did not worry about getting each and every fin of the fish correct, because in that area I wanted to give an overall impression instead of working my fingers to the bone, just really getting every tiny fin right. So when drawing a shiny subject like this, the values in your drawing need to constantly be adjusted to get the right level of contrast. So like I'd earlier stated that I had not planned on including a black color, but I realized that the contrast wasn't coming out well, so I included that. So the lightest gray that I was using wasn't dark enough, so I increased the value of that. So these are little adjustments that you will have to do once you begin a drawing. For drawing the tail of the fish, again I didn't worry too much about the details. I just wanted to get the shape, the form, the colors and the values correct. So again, initially I had not planned on adding a shadow, but once I completed the drawing, I realized that the fish looked like it was hanging in the air, and I just thought that the shadow would give it a little bit of context, sort of make it feel like it's resting on a surface. So I've used the gray colors, the warm gray colors, and I've added this light shadow, just making it really dark when it's closest to the fish, and it gets progressively lighter as it radiates away from the fish's body. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and again thank you for watching.